Was Jesus gay? Now, before I get any angry responses, let me just say no, he was not. But we can actually look at this question because it's something that does come up time after time. Questions about the sexuality of Jesus come up time and time again, and instead of just dismissing them or pushing them away, it's something that we need to discuss. At a base level, this question does not come up in either the Gospels or in Paul, but people are interested in Jesus, and because of that, they want to know more than what we have in those sources. And let's be honest, there's some political motivation to these type of questions, but that doesn't mean that we should ignore them. We really do need to discuss them. Now, one thing that often comes up in this discussion is the fact that Jesus doesn't seem to be married. At least it's never mentioned within these texts. For some, this seems to be a scandal because the idea is that someone of his rank, someone within his order, should have actually been married, that it was actually commanded of these individuals to be married. Now, exactly what that rank and order is depends on who you ask. Some people will say, well, he was a rabbi, so he had to have been married due to Jewish law. But that doesn't really come into play here because he's not a rabbi in a formal sense, but just as a teacher. Others will say that since he's an adult male, he should have been married when he was really young, and this does have some basis within Jewish ideology. Now, it is true that within the Talmud we are told that men should be married, but at what age they should be married is debated. But most passages seem to refer to the idea that they should be married by the time that they are young adults. And either way that you look at this, Jesus is far past being a young adult. Here's the thing though, even though the Talmud really suggests that a man should be married, it's not a requirement. It's not a requirement for either a rabbi or just for people in general, even though it's highly recommended. This is something that we need to understand about the Talmud. It's not just one view, but a variety of views. So even though we can see some passages that suggest that a man should be married, it's not a requirement. Now, it may make Jesus stand out a bit, but it wasn't something that would have been completely unheard of. One thing that we can know for sure, though, is that no one seemed to really have an issue with this about Jesus not being married or his marital status not being discussed during this time period, because it just doesn't come up. It's something that doesn't seem to be really important. Now, beyond that, the argument that Jesus was gay usually depends on this idea that Jesus had close male relationships. Having a close male relationship, though, just simply means that you have a close male relationship, and this is something that we should normalize. So when we get down to it, the question, was Jesus gay? The answer is probably not. We have no evidence that he was.